We are back with working on the Gloria. The first thing we're gonna do is pull the glass off of the rear half cut that's in the backyard. Let's go check it out. Oh, hazy. Here it is. Now we forgot to pull the interior off of this in the last video, but luckily it's extremely easy to take off the rear stuff. It smells horrible in here. We just want to make sure he has as much access as possible to get out this rear glass. And as we discovered in the last video, this is a light that illuminates the ceiling. Cisco, my friend, happy Sunday.
What's up, man?
Oh, what the heck? There's poop in here? Someone pooped in my Gloria. We're gonna pop off this trunk to make it a lot easier to get this back glass off. And as much as I don't like cutting wiring harnesses, this car is cut in half, so we don't need to worry about that. We'll take off our 4 10mm bolts. Alright, well, unfortunately this glass cracked, but luckily we have 2 rear glasses to work with, so this was the practice run, I guess, and hopefully the one on the car actually comes off nicely. Apparently the laminate style of the rear glass on this car is similar to how a front windshield glass would be, so instead of the entire glass shattering completely, it'll just have little cracks like this in it. I don't know, hopefully we can get the other one off. Now I'm kind of nervous. It was hard enough to find a quarter panel for this thing. I don't even want to think about looking for a back glass. Fingers are crossed, toes are crossed. So this mechanism just kind of walks the wire all the way around then?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's cool. We missed a bolt. Defrost ground. It's coming. I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
Yeah, me too.
This is a really good tool to have. Oh, dude, you got it? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, don't worry about the other one. That was the practice run, like I said. We got 2. We got 2. Perfect.
You want we can get the other one out so that we can save the other molding?
Oh, okay.
Because that one looks better than the...
Oh, this molding's not too good?
The other...
Oh yeah, the other side got crunched from the collision. Yeah, it's a little beat up. That definitely can't be fixed, right?
No.
Oof. Free Gloria glass, whoever wants it. A slight crack. Ah, so this was the trim you're talking about. Oh, I see. That's what holds on the chrome then.
Yeah.
Blingy.
So that way when we put it on, it gets attached because you see the marks? That's a mark right there where the molding bonds.
Oh. So I had to clean off the surface too, of course.
Yeah.
All right. We're a long ways away from that, but we'll keep it in mind. All right, ready? We can't break this one.
Okay.
Don't drop it, don't drop it. Let's put it right over here. Perfect. Now we just gotta not run it over. Let's move this thing into the backyard because we need to make room in the garage somewhere, but that sounds like a whole nother project. Bless you.
Sorry.
Automatic. Yeah, good thing we took off the back glass. That thing could have just popped off. Did you see that there's poop in this trunk? Who pooped in here? It's supposed to rain tonight, so let's put the tarp on it.
I think you got it.
You think I got it?
I think you got it.
All by myself?
Oh my god! What are you...
He's fast. And fierce. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
It's not. He's in there. He's gonna be in that car.
There was a wrench on the roof.
Yeah. He's here.
You see him from there? With your spidey eyes?
He's right there.
How can you see
his
that?
legs.
Where?
Down low. You're walking up real quick.
Oh, wow. You. How did you see that? You got spidey
I'm
senses.
scared.
All right. We can go.
Okay, good.
Well, it did end up raining, so I came back to the original spot where I first lit the Z in the rain. and it was on stock suspension, stock wheels. And now that we have suspension and aftermarket wheels and smaller tires, figured we'd give it another try. I do still have the stock diff in it. I did say I wanted to get a new diff, but we'll see how it holds up. It's the stock VLSD. They don't really grip up that well, but we'll see how it does in the rain. Closed course, closed road, video game footage, not real life. Don't try this at home. I'm gonna start with just trying to do a circle. God, that's terrifying. It almost feels like an open diff. Yeah, it needs a diff bad. If I don't kick the clutch hard enough, it will not lock both wheels. So inconsistent. That one wasn't bad. I just kind of got lucky that it actually locked both wheels. Now I know the S13 subframe bolts directly into a Z32, but I don't know if the S13 diff will work with the stock drive shaft on the Z. That's some research that I'm gonna have to do, but there's not a lot of information on S13 parts on a Z32, as I've learned the hard way. And also, if you're wondering, yes, I was drifting in first gear. Usually you're supposed to do it in second gear. First gear is like never a thing that you want to do, but the gears are so long with the automatic diff on the 300ZX that it's not even possible to do it in second gear. The gears are so long that when I'm at 80 miles per hour on the highway, it's just above 3 grand, which is great for highway cruising, but not ideal for drifting an NA powered car. Back to the drawing board, research to do. I will say the suspension self-steering was a great improvement. Before, when I had the stock 300ZX suspension, when you would go full lock, it would stay full lock. But here it was able to self-correct, auto-correct, so that was a really nice perk of having the McPherson conversion. Mr. Lawn Chair Racer has returned in an attempt to lower the rear end a bit more. We have attempt number 2 at trying to lower it, and these are going to be installed below, or no, they go on top of the springs, right?
It doesn't matter is what I have found out. They can go either up or above, but there's like that, and there's a little collar that sits between the 2 springs. So this is rated at 1.2, 1.3. It will not support the weight of the car.
I see.
But what it will allow us to do is, number 1, affect droop and how much we place the wheel up or down as it's sitting, and then number 2, it will actually lower the perch of the spring technically, meaning that the damper is going to go farther up and the car should go lower
farther down. So these are called helper springs.
Odd concept to add a spring and get lower, and I would really struggled to wrap my brain around it. But after I thought really hard about it, it kind of made sense.
Hey, we're gonna see if it does work though, that's for sure. And here's the collar that goes in between. Let's loosen up these collars first. All right, so let's start with just spinning off the tops. You got the right idea. Yeah, we were
max low.
We were. I was just thinking that, like, I didn't think there were that many threads in there. But
Yeah, we were max low.
Top.
There you go.
Wave washer. Hey, I'm throwing bands in the club.
You know me.
All right, so you just have the spring left?
Yeah, so all these collars are off. This is like the top of the hat, I guess, that sits over that on the bottom of the collar. Now, we must sandwich our helper spring. So it doesn't matter if this goes on the top or the bottom. We will lose the ability to preload the main spring. However, like we said, it should effectively lower the car. So this is like there's 2 sides of this. One's tapered, and one is flat. So the flat side is gonna go whoop, and then the tapered side will go whoop, and that is our completed assembly.
Dang, that's gonna lower the car a lot actually.
I think
If
so.
that's the new point where the spring sits.
Well, we will be able to load this down, so we'll be able to affect that.
I see.
Because yeah, look at that. How we feeling?
Looks pretty even to me. I mean, it's gonna be corner balanced anyways in 2
It will
days.
be corner balance in 2 days.
But that's pretty close for now.
Yeah.
Locking collar next.
I think.
Moment of truth. Reinstall.
I think so.
All right, let's get it.
Let's see. Let's make sure.
I'm ready. Let's see it.
I'm gonna drop it mega slow because I'm not like you. I already can tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
oh,
a
yeah.
little better.
It is a little
That comes
better.
But I'm gonna ask them to go max low for my corner balance.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot better. It's
Plus,
not much.
you gotta drive around the block.
I know.
You just set it down.
I know. You're right.
Test drive.
Lower.
It did get lower.
It did get lower.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. You made a valid point.
Test drive and our hands aren't even dirty.
Back with Curtis.
Oh. No, still too high off the ground. I didn't hear anything. Oh.
okay. One
corrected.
turn. Yeah, that's the corner that's bad.
Oh.
So I just need to fix the fender over there. But yeah.
Feels good. Successful job calls for a, what do you call this? I guess a staple picture. Tim geeking out about his fitment.
Let's go.
No, that is good.
Dude, it's lower in the rear than it is in the front now, for sure.
You think so?
Look at that.
Hey, it looks good though.
Dude, yes.
Finally dialed in. Jounce test.
Quite bouncy.
I can still fit a finger, dude.
Well, that's because they're rolled.
Yeah, that's
terribly.
true. Rolled and pulled.
I don't know how these cars used to do this, but I'm sure some of you guys are aware of what a JTCC car is. And that touring series slams their cars. Like when I say the rim in the rear is tucked into the quarter panel, the front is on the ground, like the bumpers are this close to the ground, and they race the circuits like that. And that's always been very inspirational to me. A functional low car. Not as low as I'd like, but it's low.
Successful speed bump test.
Okay.
Go
not bad.
straight.
I genuinely thought that was gonna be exhaust on the ground.
Hey, no scrape, not low enough.
There you go.
We are back at Omar's to get some work done on the Gloria. Now I have a very unusual task that I want to do to the Gloria before it makes its way into the garage. And that is an oil change, because the sticker that came with the car basically dates back around 2 years, which is way too long for an oil change. And as I'm taking this cover off, I'm now remembering that big spider that was in there. Wonder if he's still around. He's probably living in the car, moved in fully. I always go to check the shifter, but it's auto for now. Yeah. Not good. tune it up next year, but oil is very important. Now, since I don't really know this car or the jack points, I'm not gonna just jack it from the core support. Well, also because I can't even see it. It's covered in plastic. So we're jacking it up straight from the subframe. I'm very curious to see the suspension setup on this car. Since I've never been under it, I've never taken the wheels off before, so we'll get a good look, good idea of what we're working with. I forgot this thing doesn't have a hood prop. It's so fancy that it uses shocks, but the shocks are blown and that one's missing. So obviously the oil's gonna go here, but where is the filter? Oh, there it is. Traditional Nissan, right here. That is in a very tight spot. So there's the exhaust manifold, the steering column, the starter, the motor mount, and no room at all to reach this filter. So that'll be fun. I fully plan to swap this engine eventually, but it's probably gonna be a daily once we get this car repaired. Also, these shock towers look very different from any other Nissan that I've worked on. Let's take a look at the bottom and see what we're working with. I'm curious about the subframe setup. All right, lower control arms appear to be traditional. Can't tell the length, although this reinforcement is different from most others that I've seen. Tension arm looks traditional, same. I cannot verify the length though, that might be different. Subframe looks way different. This is all one piece. It's almost like an entire cradle, like modern cars. So the subframe includes the lower control arm mount and the tension arm mount, which usually this is completely different and they are not connected right here. Let's see back here. Yeah, there's a starter. Oil filter is tucked all the way up there. The sway bar has clearancing in it for when the wheel is at full lock. That's pretty interesting. You don't see that too often. These knuckles, however, are extremely different because it utilizes a weld-in style coilover. You literally have to weld these coilovers to the knuckle. It looks like dual piston caliper in the back. Oh, doesn't it look like dual piston? I don't know, can't really tell. There's too much junk in there. Very interesting. Auto trans pan is insanely large. Gosh. Oh, something I did want to check out is the trans mount. That way I can kind of determine what I can fit in here. I'm going to grab a stock S13 trans mount to bring with me under the car so I can compare it. Length does look about the same, so that is very promising already. It's still a 2-bolt. Is the length of that the same? Yeah, kind of looks like it. But again, this mount is reinforced just like that lower control arm was reinforced. That's different. Here's the infamous noise reducer weight. That's a pretty large weight on this car. Auto shift linkage, exhaust mount. Rear end looks honestly like an S13, can't lie. Oh wow, look at how the subframe bolts in over here. It connects all the way to the rear with an additional bracket. Oh look, there's more weights right here. So with this mount lining up the way it did, that makes me really wonder if a KA or an SR will drop into this chassis. I'm not so sure about the subframe, but at least the transmission has potential to line up. Yeah, it's very hard to tell, or honestly, maybe even an RB, because the mounts are so much more forward. I don't know, we'll figure that out down the line. Let's see how much oil was in this thing. Not bad, not full either. My guess is the drain bolt is a 14 mil, just like the RB. Yes. Wow, look at the indentations on this oil pan. That's something unusual. Is this a jack point? Nah, just kidding. Nice. Very dark. It's damn near black. While that's draining, let's get the oil filter off. I think I'm gonna have better luck doing that from the top. Thankfully this car isn't warmed up. Otherwise my arm would be on fire. I got it, but I don't know if it'll fit through the top or through the bottom. Which way did I bring this filter out? I guess the top it is. Let's fish it around. Oh, spilled some oil. Oops. Okay, well, there it is. Let's compare it to the new filter. and I could not find any information on what oil filter to use for this car, a 91 Nissan Gloria single cam VG30. So I ended up looking up an 86 Nissan 300ZX single cam VG30 because I figured they'd be the same. Then I compared that to a 96 VG30 DE, so a dual cam, and they're the same part number. So this filter should hopefully do the trick. And yes, we'll put our new oil on the rubber seal here. I also want to clean up the oil filter housing surface, but I can't even see it. So I'm just gonna feel around for it. All right, all finished up. Nothing shiny, so that's good. Are there some sparkles? It's really hard to tell. Could just be sand or dirt or something. Now I'm not too sure of the oil capacity on these cars, so I'm gonna just put 4, maybe 4.5, start it up, check it, and go from there. Because usually they take 4 to 5. Ooh, thank God. I'm so bad at pouring. Well, I'm not horrible, I'm just not the greatest. That's why I use a funnel. 4 quarts are in, let's start it up, check it. Verify no leaks. So far so good. Alright, oil's in the system. Filter is full. Oh, just under. So it looks like we do need to put the full 5 quarts in. Usually the full to empty on the dipstick indicates 1 quart. So we'll just put the rest in. Whoa, it tipped over. Even with the funnel. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna try and clean off these junkyard stickers next. Also, I have no idea what this is for. Usually this indicates an HUD setup, but that's on the opposite side, and there's no HUD. I have no idea. Oh man, this looks tedious.
Cisco gave me this.
He gave you that?
I mean, he left it here.
Hey, Cisco's the plug either way.
He is.
No scratches. That's what I like to see. Missed a couple spots though. That's good enough for now on the glass. Let's go see what they're up to. Looks mint from the front now. Another car in the booth. This is Mike Drexel's car. Was pink, spray painted. I think he's going pearlescent-ish white. We got Travis here mixing up the primer, is it?
Primer to lay on one of my buddy's cars. So just a quick tip, whenever you're like mixing anything, it normally will say it on like the can. So we got 4 to 1, so 4 parts primer, 1 part reducer or hardener. And basically it has different mixtures on the can. So like 2 to 1 normally is your paint, 4 to 1 is normally your clear, but like you go to whatever line you're at.
6.
So since I'm going to 6, I go to the next dot 6. So it would be a 4 to 1 to mixture. Now if you were mixing clear coat, you would go 4 parts clear, 1 part hardener, 1 part reducer.
I never knew that. Okay, so you fill it up to the first line at 6, and then when you add the next mixture,
When you add the hardener, so like say we go now to add the hardener into this mixture, we take our hardener and then you go strictly to the 6th dot. So we'll fill it up, keep going to right there. And then it'll be, that's it, that's your mixture.
That's cool.
So,
Honestly, I've seen cups like this, but I had no idea what all the increments meant.
yeah, it's definitely weird because if you mix it wrong, your like hardener will like thicken that mixture up and you got to spray faster. Because I've had it one time when I first learned how to paint where I mixed clear, I mixed it 3 to 1 to 1 to 1.
Oh man.
Man, that stuff, dude, it was spraying out the gun like it was just kicking everything up. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, then you just give it a mix and then we're ready to spray this stuff. Sweet. It's thick.
Yeah,
it's thick.
Dang, Travis, you killed it.
Yeah, broke my cup.
How'd you break it?
I didn't use a wrench and I just tried to twist it.
Hey, it is what it is. You got the job
That's what it
done.
is. Looks good. Put a little bit of primer where the Bondo was, so should be good. The pearl's gonna look really good on it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. As for where the Gloria will be living, the plan is to move this coupe to right around here, but we want to have the S14 in the paint booth garage first. So once the car finishes up in the next few days, then we'll relocate this one, then we'll relocate the coupe to here. This one is right-hand drive with an SR20, just basically needs to be buttoned up and then fully install the kit. I don't know what his plan is with this car, honestly. He's had this car ever since I met him, but this is definitely the next car on the chopping block. And this black S13 hatch will be built simultaneously. It's gonna have a KA in it. Right now it's just the shell. If you guys have been watching the videos, you would know we recently painted this car black. Just have to paint the rest of the kit. So I guess that kind of wraps up today's video. I think I need to start working on my 240 because Real Bash, the drift event, is coming up soon. So we need to start looking into that car and making sure that thing is ready to rock. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to see more. Make sure you were not unsubscribed, and I'll see you guys next time.